Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to ETS2. ProMods is upon us again. 1.37 compatible, 2.46 ProMods is now here, and I tried to combine it with the other map mods that I have started to enjoy as well. So let me share with you any updates before we do any driving. This might take long, but sorry about that, but you might take something from this. So you can see the map is humongous. If I go to the cargo market, we can see it more in a zoomed out view. The UK is here, Iceland is back. All of the ProMods areas are back together with RoExtended 2.6, RusMap, Southern region, Middle East in ProMods is also there. Now you will notice that I have a very colorful map. This is the Eurasia map from the RoEx forums. It's not fully compatible with ProMods yet. There is a bit of drama there that's happening. Conflicting points of view. All have their valid points, so I'll try and share it in this video. But yeah, look at this one. This is the biggest impact, I think, the biggest incompatibility at the moment. You can see the Middle East is not aligned with the background map. I'll share more details on that later. But everything else looks good. The UK is relatively accurate. Iceland is where it should be. Even Norway, even the edges look very good. Svalbard's there. So it looks good all in all. Not perfect, but not game breaking either. Yeah, so for today we will be focusing on ProMods, and I will be driving from Valencia to Barcelona, and we'll try and see how the place looks. It's been a while, and that this is one of the most scenic spots in ProMods, especially when it comes to the highways. Now there is also the part of Turkey. There is the YAKSRSK map that Arias has taken over. It is available. You can also make that work somehow, but it's a bit finicky at the moment. Arias himself has mentioned it's still work in progress, so I am staying away from it at the moment until it reaches a release candidate level. Yeah, but if you are in for the map mods combo, then that is something you can add. So you have all the dots here and you can go everywhere in this area, right? In this, I'm sure there are other map combos available, but I'll try to keep it as compact as I can. After all, I won't be able to drive there anyway. Right, let's get to driving. I am still with the truck that we drove in with the silent trucking, the Scania R by RJL, updated by cast to be compatible with 1.37 together with Krishboom's V8 open pipe sounds. I hope I described that right. I think so. There we go. I was reaching for the pedal and I couldn't. It wouldn't trigger. It is booming. It is boomish. And yes, thanks to Cast's fix, windows are working. Indicators are correctly sounding because the latest version is not working perfectly without Cast's fix. And if you want to try any of these mods for yourself, as always, mods list link is in the video description. I try to keep it as detailed as possible. So all the links are there, the mods lists are there, the load order, there is a link there to guide you what the load order should be. And yeah, hopefully you find that useful. I even added a new column now, a video column. So if you're like hunting, you are shopping for a mod that you want to try out, you see that humongous list and it's intimidating, you can check out the video column. Most of the recent mods that I've tried out, like RoEx, the Scania R by RJL, the fixes I mentioned by Cast, all of those are in there, and all of them have their respective video links so that you can, too much braking, so that you can test for yourself. You can see for yourself first my video on it showcasing the mod, and if you like it, then you can download it for yourself. You can go through all the motions. But yeah, one more thing to help people out and guide you in deciding if something is right for you or not. Now, what we'll be taking from Valencia to Barcelona are ice cream. Everybody loves ice cream. Oh my goodness, getting hungry. Alright, let's take these guys. I'm sure this will be a fruitful journey. We'll be able to make a lot of people happy with this one. Also, do you want windows open or closed? I do like the sounds much better with windows open, although it might be a bit harder to hear me. So we'll try and find the right balance, okay? We'll tweak it out and you guys let me know if you prefer one way or another in the comment section. That is so far away from where it should be. Let me see if I can tweak it. So before I start, I wanted to thank all my subs, all my patrons. Thank you for the support. Really helps me a lot and gives me access to trying out these payware mods so I can show them to you and increase the overall immersion of the sim. Thanks for all the support and hope you are having a fun time as well. Special thanks to Random Bites. He's a relatively new patron, but he subscribed to the highest tier. And I actually forget it, but I mentioned that for those in the highest tier, I actually mentioned you in the video. So thank you very much for the support, Random Bites, and yeah, looking forward to hearing from you in the near future. Alright. There we go, now we got it. And if you are interested in becoming a patron yourself, getting access to behind the scenes footage, exclusive access from these work in progress stuff that I do from time to time, feel free to join, check it out, patreon.com/theclumsygeek. There's a link also in the video description for you for easier access. Right, here we go. Let's do it. Sun is almost fully up. Let me double check the map here. 347 kilometers. Let's go and pass by, how do you pronounce this? Vinaros? There. Okay. Man, I missed Spain. Really looking forward to Iberia DLC. But until that time comes, thank goodness we have ProMods with us. Alright. So, sharing a bit about the happenings in the modding community. Recently, as you guys might know, I have gotten exposed to other map mods aside from ProMods. And it is an amazing world out there. But it's also a very colorful world, as I might say. Because as you can imagine, these are different groups of people. And they are not all, how do you say, they have conflicts because they are people. Some of them have conflicts, some of them don't get along very well, and some of them don't communicate so much, and as a result, there are gaps in the mapping, in the results. So what one guy does, what one team does, is not always visible to the others. And if they don't communicate, then some things can be off. And we have to adjust and wait for updates. So a little bit of this thing that I shared earlier in the video, the background map, I think is one of the hottest topics right now. Some people are getting really mad about it, and some people don't understand it. So I'll try and share what I understood from reading the posts. I don't have any insider info though, so if you are an affected member or have more info on that, feel free to share it in the comments and let's have a healthy, productive discussion on it. No trolling, no flaming, but let's discuss it in a civilized manner. Okay, but this is what I was able to get. So as you saw earlier in the map, the background is not fully aligned. Now, Bengan did a great job at aligning that before the ProMods 2.46 update, but apparently there are some changes in ProMods 2.46, changes that some people don't agree with outside the ProMods team. And I've been reading through the thread, and there is like a perfectly both sides, the pro and con, the pro and against the change. Both sides have points to them, and they sound very reasonable to me. Man, those sounds are awesome, aren't they? Together with the wind sounds from Drive Safely. Oh, that sounds so good. Yikes. Let me squeeze in. Detour again. I'm sure I can squeeze in somehow. I don't like detours. Yeah, okay, we should be able to squeeze in here if there is no invisible wall. Suckers. Just kidding. Oh my goodness, photo time. I'll take care of the photo here later, but my goodness. That looks amazing. That's ProMods for you. So, maybe I didn't share enough background. So, initially, before ProMods 2.46, if I understand it correctly, Beng and Jay, one of the prominent members of the trucking community, he created this map, this background map, which aligns the background to the places, the actual places in ETS2. Yeah, so each of the country territories, country borders, and all that stuff. And so it's good. And I think, and I'm sure he will watch this later and he will correct me, but from what I understand, as of ProMods 2.46, the ProMods team changed some things as well. And those are the points of contention. Some people are agreeing. Well, of course, the ProMods team agrees with what they do. And I've read through the arguments from the ProMods team, like from Skull, from... Beautiful train sounds. Thank you, Drive Safely. That is part of the sound fixes mod by Drive Safely. Sounds so realistic. Wait a minute, huh? Let me see where I should be. I think I should be on the left side. I hope I read that right. Yes, I did. So, if I understand correctly, the background or the ProMods team changed where the Middle East is located. I think they shifted it a bit to the left. And so the background map is not aligned anymore. What Beng and Jay did is not anymore consistent. But I'm not really sure who is right, who is not, or if anyone's right. I guess it's just a matter of preference and direction. And the main thing is the different teams have to coordinate and align with each other. And I think that will benefit everybody involved. And I know that there are some conflicts. Some people don't get along well. And that is restricting the communication across the teams. But yeah, as a result, the other mappers do something. Beng and Jay, Arias. Oh crap, that's blocked. They do something. They align it with all the current map mods, and ProMods has their own thing, and they do something, and it wrecks some of the stuff that the other map makers do in beforehand. And so they, oh crap, I guess I went through the wrong exit. Welcome to Spain, everybody, the land of the numerous junctions. Is this like this in real life? Is the GPS also confused? As confused as I am? Maybe. Anyway, so as a result, after ProMods 2.46 released, Arias, Sergey from RusMap, Arias from RoEx, Bengan from the background. They all had to do their own adjustments to correct the changes, or to adjust to the changes that ProMods did. And I understand why it's needed. I mean, I read, as I mentioned, I read what the ProMods team did. They shifted it to make it in line with SCS, and they did some creative stuff to work around some of the issues. They're too technical for my brain, but suffice to say, there were some challenges, and they made their own calls how to go around that. And this is the result. So they had to shift some of the map, but that shifting is not in line with everybody. Some people don't agree with it, and but I think the major problem here is not that it was wrong. Maybe it was correct, but it was not aligned. And I think it would benefit everyone, all the map makers, especially the community who is actually using the maps, like us, the end users, if they can coordinate with each other and communicate these. Like, I would hope, this is my, I don't know how ideal this is and if this is feasible, but it is my hope that the different map authors coordinate with each other. Like, people are saying, I wish ETS2 was like ATS, because in ATS, the map authors, the map makers are very collaborative. So, like, for example, I guess Manfred from Coast to Coast, he would happily work with like P16 for his expansion, and they work with Team Reforma for the Sierra Nevada and Mexican areas, so they don't overlap and they work with each other. You know, things like that. So they are very collaborative. But it's not the same in ETS world. In ETS2, some map makers collaborate, like Sergey from RusMap and Arias from RoEx. They have a very good teamwork, but they are a bit cut off. A bit may be an understatement. They are cut off from what ProMods is doing. So they have to adjust and wait for ProMods to do any release. Okay, this time I think we turn right here because it says Barcelona there. And this is the turn I missed. Second time's the charm. Alright, so yeah, in ETS2 they do their stuff and ProMods does their stuff, and then after ProMods releases their stuff, then the other guys have to adjust with whatever changes. Ideally, they would coordinate with each other to prevent reworks and align on certain things. But I'm not sure how feasible that is. Ideally, what I would imagine is ProMods would have like a liaison, you know, a guy, because the ProMods team is getting more and more massive. My idea, and those who know more about the topic can correct me or let me know if this is feasible or not, is if ProMods could have a liaison, like a guy who is specifically working with the other map makers. Of course, not all the maps can be supported, but everyone knows there are some of the prominent maps out there. RusMap, RoEx, Southern Region, you know, these are the main guys, along with ProMods. And at the very least, those maps would be great if they could work together without any other difficulty. Let me close the windows because we'll be getting fast and we'll be getting even noisier. So ideally, you know, right now what happened, ProMods 2.46 released, the road connections all got destroyed from RusMap, from RoEx, and Sergey from RusMap had to remake the road connection, had to fix a lot of stuff. Arias had to fix a lot of stuff. And you can imagine why they are frustrated, because they work hard in their map also, and they have to adjust after ProMods does something. On the other side, ProMods is well within their rights to do anything they want in their map. So no one's really wrong here, right? Everyone has their own point. Everyone has their point of view, and everyone has a right to complain or to do anything what they want with their project. But it's all a matter of collaboration in the end. And so it would be great if there would be a representative from ProMods, from RusMap, from RoEx. Well, from RusMap that would probably be Sergey. From RoEx that would probably be Arias. And Bengan would happily coordinate as well, I guess, because I feel like there is an open communication anyway on those maps. But I think the black box right now is ProMods. And understandably so, they are very protective of their assets, of their map. And I'm not sure how transparent they are when it comes to the changes that they have planned. I guess that's what many of the map authors are complaining about. They do their stuff, but they don't communicate them. So after they do a release, it's up to the other map authors to adjust. Just like how SKRS does it. Like SKRS does updates and it breaks all the map mods, which is understandable. I mean, that's expected. Wait a minute, where are we supposed to go? I guess here. Okay, Barcelona. Sorry, I love saying it that way. Not even sure what is the right pronunciation, but just going to mix it till I get something right. So yes, I would happily want to hear the perspective from each side. And yes, just to make it clear, I don't think anybody is wrong. It's just a very different way of doing things. And I think it would benefit everyone if there is more collaboration in this space. A lot more, preventing a lot more rework, preventing a lot more drama. Because if you read through the forums, and right now there are 3 different forums I visit. The official SKRS forums, the ProMods forums, where you have to choose the pictures indicating a bike or a truck every time you visit, and in the RoEx forums. So each of those have their own discussions, and in the ProMods forums itself, there is that is where the ProMods team explained what they did and why they changed the background and what is the rationale behind it. It makes a lot of sense to me, to an outsider. It makes sense why they did it, and I don't know what the other side argument is. If it's who is in the right, who is in the wrong, but yeah, at the end of the day, everyone wins if they coordinate with each other. So if it's a mistake or not, if it's who did what and what should be done about it, that's all with the collaboration. So I'm not sure. I hope it happens, for everyone's sake. Because I see, for example, Sergey, Arias, and Bengan, they have a very good teamwork. They work on different areas, but they mix very well. And so the end result is a cohesive picture. Like when I go to the RoEx forums, I can easily see the RoEx, the RusMap, even the southern region areas, and they all have the proper road connections and they talk with each other. So it's great. But yeah, ProMods is not part of that discussion. Like ProMods is a different it's like ProMods is a different team, and then the RoEx, RusMap Southern Region is a different team. It seems like that to me right now. And right now we are speeding. So hopefully that changes. But I'm sure everyone has their reasons, and if you are willing to share it, then I would be happy to hear it. But the great thing is, now people have adjusted. Our map authors have painstakingly gone through most of the game breaking stuff, created new road connections, and now we have a working map again. So as you watch this, the stream has probably finished already, and in that stream I have shown, or I have driven through, hopefully all the map mods I have enabled. Some parts of it at least. ProMods, RusMap, Southern Region, RoEx, Middle East ProMods as well. So yeah, looking forward to the updates from each side, and looking forward to the drama unfolding. My goodness, this view has been amazing all throughout, don't you agree? there's a bit of aliasing in here. I had to tone down my anti-aliasing settings so I could retain the 60 FPS all throughout. But I can go to the 4X again, the high anti-aliasing, at the price of a bit of frame loss. But you guys let me know which one you prefer, okay? In the meantime, I'll keep this one. Ooh, Vinaros. Okay, good. There looks to be a speed radar here, and I think we will be in it if we don't slow down soon. There we go. Do we need fuel? Not really. Okay. Yeah, this background map thing has always been a question mark to me. I didn't really understand it. And well, until now I still don't understand it. Just know that a lot of people are working on it, and a lot of people are doing lots and lots of reworks. Yeah, it's a bit difficult, as you can imagine. Like, first and foremost, SCS will do some stuff. Of course, it's their game, and they will adjust maps. They will do decisions that not everyone agrees about, but at the end of the day, what they do is the rule, right? Because it's the base game. And then each of the mods will have to adjust there, but then the question comes up, which mod should get the next rule? Like, SCS has #1 priority, who gets #2 priority? Is it ProMods because they're the biggest and arguably most famous map mod? Is it the other maps? Well, in my point of view, it should be a tie across all the other map mods. Like, SCS would be #1, and then #2 would be all the map mods. They can coordinate with each other, at least the bigger ones. But yeah, I don't think anyone has anyone should have a like unanimous say on it. So everyone should have their own pitch. That is in the ideal world. In reality, I'm not sure how if that can really be done, because understandably, for example, ProMods, they are really a big team. They have a wide reach. They are, I would say, the most famous map mod. And so they can do whatever they want, and if you're not compatible with them, then you can live without them, which a lot of people cannot. So you will eventually be needing to choose, do you want ProMods or not? Would you rather live without ProMods or live without some other mods? And most of the time, people would choose ProMods. And so that's why in reality, I think they have a #2 priority next to SCS. At least right now, that is my point of view. So everyone who disagrees, let me know in the comments, and let's have a discussion, as I mentioned. I see a lot of weird flickering trees there in the distance. Looks strange. Don't know if I noticed that before. Must be LODs or something. My goodness. Spain looks as amazing as ever, isn't it? I'm tempted to try again switching to 4X anti-aliasing just to remove the flickering, make everything much smoother. Not in terms of FPS, but in terms of visuals, in terms of no jagged edges and stuff. Oh my, this bridge. I might take a screenshot here instead. I think this looks even more amazing than the first one we went through. But yes, I am happy that ProMods 2.46 is now here, and that it is almost compatible with all the other major map mods. Thank you guys for all your hard work, and sorry for the rework you've had to do. I hope in the future we find a way forward where everyone can align and do stuff just once, and it works together harmoniously with other areas. Yeah, it would be great if you have like a, like in real life, you have ambassadors. You have these different countries, and you coordinate each other through your ambassadors. And here, each mapping team can coordinate with each other that way. Maybe someone can volunteer. You know, I don't know how open ProMods would be to that. ProMods team would be to that. Adding a member of the team who is focusing on integration with other map mods. So that person will be coordinating with Arias, with Sergey, with Bengan, with Simka, and all the other map makers out there. And they will align, okay, we are doing this. You might want to change something on your end. You know, just a bit of heads up before they release, so that when they do release, the stuff that the other map makers are doing will not be put on hold or put on the back burner, just discarded. Because if we read through the RoEx forums, there is a lot of hate right now for ProMods, and that is understandable. I mean, of course, emotions are running high. You've done hours and hours of hard work, and you know that it's working now, and then someone releases an update and all of that is broken. But yeah, as I mentioned, everyone is well within their rights to be angry, to do what they want, because it's their own project. But at the end of the day, it benefits everyone if we can coordinate, if they can coordinate with each other. And if I can help in any way, you know, I am not a mapper. I am a very poor modder. Like, I know only the basics, but I do have a small reach with the community. I can maybe try and talk to some people if you want. I can try and coordinate. If you want me to be the liaison, I can try. Just let me know, and I will try to do what I can for the community. If you guys have been in my channel for quite some time, then you'd know that I don't like these conflicts. I'm a very peaceful, loving guy, and I don't want fights. And if I can act as mediator, as liaison, as the connector, I can be the human ProMods RusMap connector. If you guys like. Although I might not be capable enough for that in terms of technical knowledge. Like, I don't know any mapping, so it's not like I can really describe in detail what's changing. So in terms of technical knowledge, I might not be qualified. But in terms of, I don't know, smiling faces, relationships, maybe I can bridge the gap, so to speak. So if you have ideas, Bengan, if you're watching, Arias, if you're watching, Bricks or Plum or anyone from the ProMods team watching, let me know. Either comment here or message me in Discord. Let's try to see if we can work something out. And I think ultimately it will lead to a better and more harmonious modding community. And that ends up with everyone with smiling faces. Man, weather really turned there, huh? Just night and day. This rain always keeps on trolling me. Just pops up out of nowhere, which is very realistic, I must say. But yeah. Also, for those who are asking about Naturalux, I'm sorry to say, and this might not be 100% official, but I did hear this from Jay. And Jay is part of the Naturalux team. He is the guy behind the servers and whatnot. At least that's what I know. So what he says, I trust that is accurate. And he says that there are no plans at the moment to make Naturalux compatible with 1.37. So right now, if you have the public version, if you have downloaded it from the forums, if you had to register via Trejon and Naturalux forums, have to go through the entire downloading process. That version you have is the public version, the public beta. and that is only compatible for 1.36. And I heard that they are not planning on making it compatible for 1.37, which is such a shame, and which is something I honestly disagree with, but I'm not part of the development team, so I don't really have a say about it. But for me, so this is Naturalux that I have enabled, and you might wonder how I have it. That's because I am in a closed beta branch. The distinction: you guys are in the public beta, I'm in the closed beta branch. So these are different files, different sources. One sec, huh? Oh, it's good. It's good. We're reaching Barcelona. Frame rate is super good so far. Yeah, Barcelona has been optimized so many times and so extensively. In the beginning, when Barcelona was first introduced, it was great in terms of quality, but it was very framey. Nowadays, I don't think that's a problem anymore. It has been optimized and still retaining the image quality there is. But anyway, back to Naturalux. So I'm in the closed beta branch. In the closed beta branch, we can actually change our files. You know the manifest files, if you're familiar, where you can make stuff compatible with certain versions, and you can say this is only compatible with 1.36 or so. That's how it is with Naturalux. But for us, we can change it. We can manually make it that it's compatible with 1.37. And in this case, it mostly works. I'm not sure if there are some bugs behind, some incompatibilities with that forced compatibility, but I've driven a lot of episodes, I've recorded a lot with this Naturalux on in 1.37, and it works for me. So I wish the dev team, Kirill and the team, would reconsider for everyone's sake. Just put a patch, because the thing I did is just a modification of one file, adds one line in there to make it compatible with 1.37. The only thing is, you guys in the public branch can't do it because the files are locked. Otherwise, you could have done it yourselves. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they could add a file. Maybe they could change the file structure, add a separate file for the definitions that is unlocked so people can modify it as much as they want. I don't know, but maybe they don't want that because people will start tweaking stuff, and when something doesn't work, they will complain even though they did the tweaks themselves. And probably the dev team, the Naturalux team, is just staying away from all that complexity. That could be a valid point. Ooh, turn right here. Out of nowhere. Phew, thank goodness this truck has amazing brakes. Frame drops starting just a little bit. You can feel it just a little bit, but there is rain, so this perfectly understandable. But yeah, I think these anti-aliasing settings are just right for my system. I cannot max it out, so I only have a GTX 1070. But yeah, this is good enough for me now. Gives right balance between quality and frame rate. Awesome. And so there you go. Those are the updates I have. Those are the not really insider stuff, but the behind the scenes stuff that not everyone would know about unless you read through the forums. So hope that sheds some light about all the complexities. Might seem a very simple thing, but my goodness, our mod authors are really hard at work in making all this work together. First, making them work on their own, and then the second is making them work together with each other. It is such a complex thing to do, and kudos to all our mod authors for their hard work and perseverance and coordination stuff. Yeah. So if I can help with anything, you guys let me know, and I'd be happy to do my fair share of contributions. Oh, dang it. this will not work. Might have to open our windows and get wet here because I cannot see anything. Get your rags ready, guys. Yeah, that's the edge. What I need to do is extend all the way here and loop around. I jackknife this though. Okay, straighten it out bit by bit. Make sure I don't hit this trailer. That's good. Alright. That looks great. Let's go and reverse. And if necessary, I can also learn some mapping myself. If you have some pointers for me. Like I mentioned, I don't have any technical knowledge about mapping. But if you want me to be the liaison, that I can start learning about it, I probably will get the hang of it eventually. Just need some time and guidance. So let me know. I'm happy to help. Who knows? Maybe we can have like mapping sessions in the future. Bug fixing sessions. But first challenge would be opening the map editor even. I have never gone into the map editor. And that alone I heard is it's an impressive feat on itself. Because the controls are very different and all that stuff. And if you don't know what you're doing, it will be very obvious very fast. Right, that's a job well done. So hopefully you enjoyed the episode, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy the tidbits as well, the quote-unquote insider info, the behind-the-scenes stuff. Thanks for watching, and thanks again to my subs and patrons. Special thanks to Random Bites, becoming a divine champion. If you don't know what that is, check out the Patron, check out what that tier is. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day. Clumsy trucking, everybody, and bye-bye. Catch you soon.